What's happening, guys? Today I'm speaking about divine masculine energy and breaking the myths of the spiritual community when it comes down to the divine masculine. Let's get it today.
Yeah. I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there, guys. What's happening? My name is Suman Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, a flow state consultant. I'm here to help you feel better and perform better. Today we're talking about the divine masculine energy. Now, this is not just a video for men specifically, it's also for women, because this is all about polarization. And we understand that in the spiritual community, you see a lot of these guys, man, and they're soft. They're just soft, okay? They're like a feather. You can just flick them and like they'll get like an injury, right? So this is not obviously what we want. Spirituality is meant to make you stronger, not weaker. But why is this happening? A lot of guys have this misconception. You see, a lot of people who start spiritual work, they're in a lot of pain. Okay, they are in a lot of pain. And one of the masks that the masculine wears, masculine, right? One of the masks that they wear is that I have to be nice to everybody. I have to people please. I have to make sure that I self-sacrifice and give everything to others and overgive, where we become a muted reflection of our true core masculine self, right? You have an inner man and an inner woman inside of you. Make sure that you're communicating with them. And these blueprints, these frameworks happen from what we see in our parents, right? Maybe you have a masculine father and a feminine mother, or vice versa. That is the framework that you've gotten growing up of what a man and a woman should be like, subconsciously. So if they were arguing all the time, you're now going to get into relationships today and see that you're starting to argue. And you're like, where is this coming from? Why do I want to argue? Well, I'm sorry, my friends, but that is your idea, your imprint of love. You're going to now have to change that through healing processes. You have a responsibility to change that, in fact, because you don't want your kids to repeat the same mistake. So the thing about the divine masculine is not this androgynous, sexless, like amorphous blob, right? Like a man is a very sexual being. Masculine energy, by definition, is something that moves forward. Okay, it is purpose driven. It is something that looks forward to something and keeps moving past obstacles and resistance, right? So if you find yourself as a man being very passive, just like sitting as a bystander, not being the movie star of your own life, this is how you notice this showing up if you're living in a fake divine masculine world. You're being the cameo in other people's movies. Okay? Maybe you have a leader of your group and only he's doing the cool stuff and you're like sitting back and like watching him do it. You're like the sidekick in the movie, right? You're not living your own purpose-driven movie where you're creating your own tribe, where you are causing an impact. You see, impact is masculine energy, influence is feminine energy. So we have a lot of influencers out here. Well, guess what? Where are the impactors? Where are the people who are causing a shift, a ripple effect? Okay, now I understand that this video might confuse some people or misunderstand, because we are in Mercury retrograde, right? You watch a video like this, someone gets triggered, someone reacts, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? Even in a gender binary relationship or LGBTQ relationship, there is one person who is more masculine, one person who's more feminine. There is an authentic core version of what you truly embody. Now, as a man with more testosterone in your body, clearly you hold a masculine identity, a masculine frame, right? So right now I'm talking to those men. As you were in pain, you started your spiritual journey, you also started to hide a bunch of things. You started to repress a bunch of your pain and your shadows. And as you started to push this stuff down that you truly didn't want to face, guess what? You started to take on this persona, this identity of the nice guy. And I'm not saying don't be compassionate, you know what I mean? Like, be compassionate, that is at our core. We are loving beings, we're all connected with each other, sure. However, you're losing your masculine edge by being this 50-50 I'm 50% masculine, 50% feminine. I must be yin-yang integrated. Okay, no. If you see the yin-yang, you'll understand better. Actually, if you see the masculine side, there's a little bit of feminine. And if you see the feminine side, there's a little bit of masculine. However, that's besides the point, man. You want to be 60% masculine, 40% feminine as a man. As a heterosexual male. And I'm not telling you what to do. You know, you can go by whatever measure, whatever book that you've read, and, you know, try to disprove me on this. But I see a lot of people, they're in this 50-50 range. They don't have polarity, so they're not being attractive to the opposite gender. And you might be attracting all these masculine women into your life. And you're like, what's going on here? Well, you haven't integrated your masculine or your feminine. That's why you're getting these women who are more masculine, because you're more in your feminine. And then you start complaining, being like, I just want a feminine woman. I just want a woman who's soft and caring and nurturing. Well, guess what, buddy? You're gonna have to be masculine. You're gonna have a purpose. You're gonna have to be driven. I'm just telling it to you like it is, because I needed to hear this message years ago. I noticed in my own spiritual journey, I was being more in my feminine. I was just relaxing, you know, kind of laying around in a hammock, watching the world pass me by. However, let me give you this model, okay? And then you'll truly start to understand what I mean by masculine energy, because masculine energy is still stillness. You can relax, but it's a different kind of relaxation than a restorative, replenishing feminine energy, okay? You see, feminine energy is that flow, is that creativity, is that intuition, and we need that too. So this is the way I want you to look at this model, really, okay? And I don't want you to see this as a religious perspective. I want you to see these as disciplines, okay? So the masculine container that you want for a philosophy is Stoicism and Zen Buddhism. Stoicism and Zen Buddhism, particularly Zen Buddhism. Okay, Bodhidharma-based Zen Buddhism. I'm not your guru. All right? I'm not your guru. I'm not here to help you, but I can help you. But what are you willing to give to receive? Stoicism, that container of protection, of armor. And alchemy, where you're able to flip and reframe things and be in a positive mindset. You see, the left brain is associated with optimism. So if you're a very pessimistic man, guess what? You're in the right side of your brain more. You're getting caught up in your emotions. You are not using your logic. So I see Stoicism almost like a cognitive behavior therapy for men, right? It's an ancient philosophy which states, amor fati, I love my fate. Whatever happens to me, I chose it. It's about taking responsibility, right? Which a lot of guys don't want to do nowadays. Stoicism is not what you see in the media of like this man who just has his face and, you know. That's not necessarily Stoicism. That could be a result of Stoic mentality. Because hey, once you have a Stoic mentality, it's like things can't harm you. Once you embody a concept like memento mori, remember your death, you're gonna live life more fully. And you're not gonna be so worried about dying all the time and being in fear. Death is one of the biggest fears we have as human beings. If you embody memento mori, you're like, I've transcended death. Are you at a place as a man, if you died today, that you'd be happy? That you'd be like, okay, I did everything that I wanted to. If not, things are gonna have to change. Okay, things are going to have to change around, shift around. And this is the time to do it. You watch this video, maybe you're watching this years later. Still a perfect time to do it. Why? Because it's your life, man. It's your life. You gotta start living. Don't let fear enmesh with you and entrap you. It's there to teach you. Fear is your teacher, okay? So have a container of Stoicism and Zen Buddhism. Within it, underneath it, what do we have? We have our emotions. And our emotions must pass through us like a river. That's where the Taoism comes in. That's where living in God consciousness comes in. Or the Tao, right? We're letting in the divine energy that can flow through us. So we still want to be a bit transparent as human beings. We don't want to be so armored in our stoicism that we don't let in divine energy. That's not what Stoicism stands for, in fact. Stoicism is about letting go, right? So the Taoism is the counterpart to the Stoicism. And Buddhism, not Zen Buddhism, Buddhism is a counterpart to Zen Buddhism. Now you're asking me what's the difference? Well, if you look at the teachings of Zen, it's way more practical than Buddhism, whereas Buddhism is more philosophical. And in fact, one could also say that Buddhism is a more feminine version of Stoicism. I mean, Buddhism is a mental technology, okay? It is a religion. There's a lot of Buddhists who are Buddhists by birth, and they're religious and they practice Buddhism. However, Buddhism and the concepts of Buddhism are a mental technology, just like Stoicism is. So you can handle life, you can handle its challenges. So you have to have a masculine edge, but you have to have a soft interior. You have to have a soft heart. I know back in the day, Elliot Hulse used to talk about this idea of tender aggressiveness, right? Tender aggression. We need that back. But the thing is, you guys are being lukewarm with this energy. See what I'm saying? Where's that drive? Where's that ability to be like, yeah, I want to get something done today? Masculine energy is about taking action. So this is why you have so many coaches yelling at you to take action. We must take action. It's got to be paired with a tenderness. Because if we're just taking action, you're going to burn yourself out. Where's the cool down phase of you taking action? Where's the rest? That's where the feminine energy comes in and replenishes you, revitalizes that Shakti, okay? And I see a lot of spiritual coaches, they're talking a bunch of nonsense. You have to tap into your Akashic records, this interplanetary, interdisciplinary, intergalactic energy of the light codes that are coming in from the 7th chakra of the 18th dimension of Mother Gaia Pachamama. Every other week, people have new codes. Okay, light codes I understand. Light codes I get them too. But if you're talking about some interstellar, draconian, Lilith, tulip, intergalactic energy, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, because I don't have a reference of that. These are all different things enmeshed into one. Okay? I'm all for you guys experimenting. I'm all for you guys if you're otherkin and you want to label yourself a rhinoceros. I'm all for that. Do you. However, we must create a practicality of metaphysicality, which is not happening. You're getting trapped in your dogma. You're getting trapped in your discipline, where discipline is not what we think it is. Discipline is not punishment. We think to discipline a child, it means to hit them or something. No. Discipline is guidance. Discipline actually comes from the word disciple, which is something very sacred, right? So we need that discipline as men because we are divine masculine. So we're disciplined masculine. We need to take spirituality back into our own hands and alchemize it and morph it into something really easy to understand, something so practical. Not so practical that it's like, it's as easy as downloading this app. If you check this out right now, you'll get a 50% discount on... Listen, I have my event today. Like, I'm not here selling you guys my event. I know what it's worth, right? That's the thing. As practitioners, we have to know our worth. We have to show up and practice what we preach. A lot of you guys are talking a big talk. I don't need to know about your bourgeoisie alien experience where you had a glass of wine with him. Okay, I don't need to know that. That's fine for you, that's cool. Yeah, that's your own experience. But for me, I want to learn about how I can elevate my consciousness instead of you talking about it. But I need to understand that without it being some kind of quantum alphabet soup of dessert, but then also a bit of appetizer in there. And yeah, let's throw in some onions. Let's throw in some onions too. Like, look, we gotta have a taste for this. We've got to be culinary artists with our spirituality, okay? Don't just throw everything on the plate. The peas are mixing with the ice cream, bro. We want to fine-tune this thing that we call spirituality and make it accessible. How do we do that? We embody the divine masculine. The divine masculine energy is here to save us. I'm telling you guys this. It is here to save us. So to the brothers out there, to the men, and even the women who want to cultivate this energy, it's time to step in. It's time. You've waited way too long. It's time to step in. It's time to take action, but guide it from that intuition. And through this, through daily practices and disciplines, you're going to start to embody this energy of courage, of mastery, of leaning in to your edge. Because what is the divine masculine energy besides mastery? Okay? And you're thinking, oh, mastery, that means that he's reached his full stop in his journey, in his spiritual development. No, mastery is a masterpiece. It's also work in progress, always, always. This is a lifetime journey. Okay? Mastery is a lifetime journey. No, you're never over. It's never over. So man, I've preached on for too long. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Let's crush it today.